Granny Square 101. First we make a magic circle. So the way I do it is just form a loop. So you put the running yarn over to create a loop, and then you pull up this yarn, right? Feed your crochet hook inside and then start working. So we'll do chain 2, 1, 2, then work into this loop. Takes practice. Honestly, I don't know how to tell you how I learned this, but yeah. So double crochet. I'm only gonna do 2 double crochets, but for every there's supposed to be 4 shells of 3 double crochets, but I'm counting the chain 2 as a double crochet. So that's 3 shells, chain 2, and then another 3 shells. Takes practice, but if it's too loose you could just tighten it a bit, and there we go. So this is a shell of 3 double crochets, chain 2 and do 2 more shells. I have created my last shell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 5. I'm not supposed to have so many. There we go. Last shell, chain 2. Then we are going to seal up the hole, as in close it off, pull the string to tighten it off. Then we're going to slip stitch in the chain 2 mark. Insert your hook, pull up a hole. This is where I'm going to start changing the color. So I'm changing it to white. Wait, hold on. This excess yarn, we're going to put it over here so that we can work it in. Less yarn to weave in. So insert your hook, pull 1, and then pull it through the hoop. This is also where I'm going to start changing my color. So I'm going to allow this color to be here on this side. Get the white yarn, put it here, and then chain 2 for the next one. 1, 2. Turn your work. Since I am working in this general direction here, I am going to take these 2 loose pieces of yarn, put it here so that I could crochet over it. Then we find the space where the chain 2 chain space is, insert a hook, and then we're going to create 2 double crochets. Reason being because we've already chained 2 and that counts as a stitch. So 1, 2. So that is your 3rd one, and double crochet. We double crochet in each chain space, 2 chain space, but for the corner chains we put 2 double crochets shells. So we'll put 1 shell, chain 1, and then another shell. I'll show you. So I have placed 1 shell in here. I'm going to chain 1 and put another shell in here. What I mean by corner stitches is there are 4 corners. So every corner you're going to put this stitch. So I'm going to repeat this in here and here. And then I'll show you what I mean by corner stitches and when we don't do the shell or repeat the pattern. This is the final corner. I'm going to add my last stitch because in this one there is only 1. So I'm going to do the other half of the shell and chain 1, then attach it with a slip stitch. This yarn, when you are creating your other half of the shell, ensure that it is outwards so you could change color. Shell, chain 1, slip stitch right here, but ensure this is here at the front. Slip stitch, and then we're going to put this on the side and change color with this thread. Then we're going to chain 2. Turn your work. We're creating a change color on this side, so this yarn stays here because we're turning around and going all the way around and then change the color here. This is what I meant by only corner stitches. So we've got the 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we also have this chain space right here. what we do is we only create one shell in here, and then we jump into the next one. So there is no chain one spaces between the next shells unless it's a corner stitch. Chain one here. A shell has been created, and then we jump straight into another shell, no chain one space. Given that we are now in corner stitch, we chain one, then we create another shell right in here. Just continue this pattern. The reason why I chain two and flip my work is that it creates no wrong side. When trying to weave in the ends, eventually the yarn stops, so then it creates this little gap or extended piece of yarn right here. So in order to make it a bit more seamless, we go under these loose yarns and then we include it into our crochet. That way it won't come undone. And we put double crochet, we continue. So I will show you the end result when I'm done, because I have one more color to change, the white. Let me show you that color change again. So you put the hook under the color changed yarn, and then you create your slip stitch so that you can no longer use this black yarn. So slip stitch in, let go of the yarn. You can put it at the front so that way you can hold on to it and it won't become loose. And then use your color change yarn. Turn your work and then double crochet. This little bit here, you could either crochet on top or you could take it in and crochet with it. That way it could be a bit more tight and sealed off. I always say to crochet over any loose yarn to create a more seamless look. Top tip that I've learned in a lesson that I've taken in, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's also or always just leave a long enough tail so that you can weave in with a needle. That way it's better to have excess than not enough, so you could weave it in and then glue it. So this is what it looks like. And I'm going to weave in these yarns, these threads, and I'll show you. My favorite needle. So I did chain one. I need to pull the yarn through, tighten it. This is way more than I need, but I'll get the result that I want. God damn it. Anyways, just feed it through. Feed it through the black, that way it won't be seen through the white and it won't look tacky. So I started here and ended here. You can barely tell, and now I'm going to just cut off the yarn. And this is what I mean by ensure you have a long piece of yarn. I have no idea where this is from, but it's not impossible to work. What you will have to do is feed in your needle first as to what path you want it to take. So I'll put it through here and then feed in the thread. When that's done, you just pull this in and it will follow through wherever. Then you can cut off your yarn. Then we'll just do the same for here. I need to cut off the yarn for the black, leave sufficient, and feed it through. There we have it, granny squares. You could steam it or block it. It just gives it a more uniform shape and it stays the same throughout. It's very consistent.